Hi everyone, welcome to the Expansion Frequency. My name is Carolina Balbo. I'm your host, and this is a space for us to connect, share insights, have deeper conversations and reflections. Today is January 6th, so we are in a new year, and I know with that it comes some anxiety of planning. What do I need to do this year? What are my goals and all of that? And I want to talk about that, about how we set goals. How do we start a year in the right step, with the right step, but also not rushing it, because I do think that we can be very hard on ourselves, add a lot of pressure as well to have everything figured out. And guess what? Sometimes we don't have everything figured out, and that's okay. I remember once hearing someone say that they would take the full month of January to reflect on the goals for the year. And that really resonated with me, because often we are very hard on ourselves. And I don't know if you feel that, but it seems that if you're not on top of everything now, January 6th, the world already woke up, they're already doing things, they're already super aligned, and we're falling behind. And guess what? That does not serve us at all. We're not competing with anyone else. The goal is for us to just grow. It's very simple, right? So we should be using this as a push, as a healthy push in our journey to be more intentional, to have our goals, to support our dreams, the life that we want to create, and let go of all the external noise. And even if we think about astrology, which I prefer overall to follow that calendar versus our normal January to December calendar, because that's just man-made calendar. Astrology normally is more aligned with my values, with nature. So astrologically, it is not a new year. There's no huge shift in energy happening right now. So it's okay if you still feel that nothing changed. So be easy on you if you don't have everything figured out today. The second part is, before we start setting the goals, before we start thinking about 2026, what do we want? Anything we do, we need to think about what we want to let go of. And if you came to my space, if you know me, I talk about that pretty often, because we are so addicted to just being positive. And sometimes that can be toxic, because we just want the easy part. We just want instant gratification. We just want everything to be working out all the time. But guess what? Life is not like that. We need to grow. We have challenges. We have lessons. We are in school of earth to grow, to learn, to expand. And often all of that growth and expansion come from challenges. And we need to reflect on those. We need to do some of that shadow work. We need to take time to what we want to leave behind. What is no longer aligning with us? Is it a pattern? Is it a behavior, a habit? If you are working on the list of letting things go, you can burn the paper as well. That's can be a nice ritual. You can just tear, it's a little bit safer depending where you're at in your apartment. And shifting to gratitude, all the lessons of what worked out in 2026. How did you grow? Even what did the challenges allow you to grow towards? It's a very healthy practice before we start actually shifting to okay, now 2026, what's next? Because we need to create space. And this is not overnight either. So that's why I really love the idea of a full month to work through every phase. Because if you look at nature has its own rhythm. It doesn't rush. It has the time to slow down. If you think about all the seasons, and we are trying to get everything done overnight. So at least 30 days, for me, sounds like a reasonable time to honor these phases if we want to be in a better state of co-creation. And once we do this exercise of what no longer serves you and what are you grateful for, what did you learn, how did you grow, then we start getting ready to feel what we want to create next. And something I like to do is just free journal. I think that really helps you. Also, anxiety, to be honest, because we often get very overwhelmed with all the ideas. So putting that in paper is very helpful. So I do that. And from that, I like to put like stars on like what are the top ones? Come on, because there are things that like they've been there in your list every year and they're like nice to have, not a must have. But what are the things that you would really like to look back and be like, yeah, those are the top three. For me, that's very helpful. So I guess less overwhelming. Because we gotta be realistic, right? Changes are hard. And often we have this unrealistic expectation that we can become a whole new person overnight. And sometimes adding one habit, changing one aspect in our life is so hard, like working out. When we get off track from that routine, it takes a lot of commitment, discipline to get back to that version of you. So I really find it helpful to have that clarity from the entire list. Then we start transitioning to visual boards. Something that I did the last couple of years that I really enjoyed was to go online, search for the images that are aligned with my goals, and create a Google Doc, and then print it and cut. A lot of work, yes, but you can be so specific. You can choose so much the images that really speak to your heart, to your goal. Sometimes it can be hard to find magazines these days. So for me, that was an easy win-win if you can get a printer. And then after, of course, you can use whatever makes sense to you. It can be like a whiteboard. It can be the cork board. So there are just many ways. You can just paste on a thicker paper as well. And I highly recommend having that somewhere you see it every day once you do that collage. People say too should not have that available somewhere in the house where other people see it. All of this is very personal. Like I don't agree with people posting their goals on the internet. I think jealousy is a real thing and a lot of energy towards our stuff. So the more that you can protect your energy, and a lot of times, like it can be your friends and family, they don't mean bad, they're not planning on being jealous, they don't even know, they're not consciously aware, but sometimes it's just a reflection of their own life, their own frustrations. So it's an opportunity for you to just protect. There's no need for you to expose that stuff. So if you have a closet that makes sense to you, anything like that, I would recommend to protect that. So those are all the main things that I highly recommend. I would say take your time to get to that state where it feels authentic to you, to get that clarity. I know everyone is at, there are different stages, different processes. Holidays can be very exciting, can be very challenging. Everyone is different. So don't compare with anyone else but you. You are here for you, for your own growth. So don't lose track of what matters. So if you need a little bit more time to tap into that, to have that clarity, that's what's going to sustain in 2026. Nothing that is rushed, it's sustainable. And again, look at nature. Look at how nature creates. We are nature, but again, we are distracted. We have this false illusion that we're not, that we're better than them. They're like, oh, I love nature. Guess what? You are nature. I'm glad you like nature. That means that you like yourself. So a lot of times when I get frustrated about something, I go back and really just let nature be my teacher, because I think that with internet, Instagram, all the instant gratification, online shopping, we just so used to like getting things whenever we want. But when it comes down to personal growth for our own change, we can feel very frustrated very quickly, because that's not how our beautiful bodies, mind, like this magical machine that we carry here works. So this is my invitation for you to get some inspiration. We are a vessel to our intuition when we slow down. So that's a crucial step for you to access your inner knowing. So journaling, meditating, being in your own energy, going for a walk, all of these things, all of these spaces, being with your own, being your own energy really allows your intuition, your inner voice to access you. So the more you cultivate that, the easier it gets to be in your own company, to get in touch with yourself, with your nature. I hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comments what are you gonna do, how do you feel, and what would you like to learn more here or just hear more about it. And I hope to see you soon in the next episode. Bye.